Hi, welcome to the Natacha No Show. Today I am excited. We're gonna have a beautiful, beautiful show with a beautiful, beautiful woman. You see like a little bit of the scenery, the backdrop behind me, and that is because this is what we're going to be talking about. So I'm going to save that for the show once we get into the show. But thank you again for tuning in to the Natacha No Show. Today's guest, I'm interviewing Miss Judy Gaddy, and I'm going to turn the camera.
Hello.
And this is Miss Judy's Glorious Gardens, and we are here at her home and we're going to explore her garden. It's a beautiful, beautiful garden. So, you know, as all of my my supporters know, I just jump right into the questions. So I've kind of like prepped Miss Judy prior to interviewing her. So thank you and for tuning in, DeSheila and Ty. Hi. It's like people that are live and they go, right? Yeah. So I just like shout them out. Cool. Yeah, I'm like talking to my guests at the same time. It's exciting and it's so hot outside, and we're gonna do this interview and we're gonna have a wonderful time. So we're gonna jump right into the interviewing questions. So I'm gonna put the camera on Miss Judy.
This is very unintimidating.
Yes, it is. That's good. No, right?
You don't even know it's a camera. It's just like this
it's
little,
like a phone,
little
right?
cute box saying.
So this is the garden. We're gonna tour it in a minute. But okay, and I'm not going to leave the camera on Miss Judy because I don't like to have the camera just right on. You know, I learned that from Armando. Armando was like, Mom, can you take the camera off of me?
Oh, nice.
So, okay, Miss Judy's Glorious Gardens here. I wonder if I can prop it.
Sure you can. If you can balance it, absolutely. Nice little old house to give it stable.
Okay, let's see. All right, so here we go. Thank you for being on the Natacha No Show.
Thank you for having me. This is an exciting opportunity of reflection and interjection of like, oh my goodness, I've never thought these answers to these questions before. So thank you, Natacha.
Nice. So, okay, the first question is, what are you currently up to? This is something that I always ask my guests. What are you currently up to?
Well, having had eye surgery a while back and having vision in but one eye now, and it's a compromised vision, I'm up to being active to the point of being almost like what I was normally before, which was super active with a lot of responsibilities and fun things to do. And since we're dwelling on the garden, watching this garden come into manifestation after having moved here 33 years ago is what I always told my kids. Yeah, this is my 7th child, by the way, and it's the most obedient child. So if I'm out in the garden rather than hanging out with you guys, it's because I have something to show that gives me perpetual grin. This is a smile on my face. Children are challenging. Gardening is rewarding. Yeah, really effortless in a way because Mother Nature does everything, and I just pick up and clean up. And there's scripture that goes with this I found a long, long time ago, and I was so surprised because I used to garden when I was a child too and grow cucumbers to sell. Was speak to the earth, and she will teach thee. Well, that
speak to the earth, and she will teach thee.
She will teach thee. Okay. Now, I think it's in Job. I'm pretty sure it is in Job, but I'm not real scholarly anymore. So, but I was very curious as a child to why this book held so much information. Right. And the other one that got me was be still. And in the garden, you can be still with all the noise and still be still, and know that I am God. So I found in bird nests and baby birds and singing bird songs, just a hallowed be thy name. It was so bountiful that that's my root.
Right.
Is in the childhood.
I want to make sure they can hear you.
Oh, interesting.
Yes. Just in case. Can everyone hear my guest, Miss Judy Gaddy and Glorious Gardens we're sitting in? Hopefully you can. So I'm interviewing Miss Judy Gaddy. Thank you for tuning in, Helen, Bonnie. This is please stick around because I would love for you two to see this, how beautiful this garden is. So again, I'm interviewing Miss Judy Gaddy and Glorious Gardens. Aside from gardening, what's your second most favorite thing to do?
Right now, the advent of discovery since I've done without television for about at least 15 years, I have found YouTube. And
Yes.
I have been able to research so much on YouTube, including the BBC channel. Cute. Seeing your brain here, that's what I'm doing too.
That's okay.
Trying to play catch up with myself.
I'm just like,
There's a world of information in something called Gardener's World, and I would highly recommend it. It has about 12 different channels within that framework of discovery called BBC. I think is being scalped by American whatever we do to get the programs, because in England you can only watch it when you're watching it. They don't even let you go back and subscribe to the old ones.
Oh, really?
They don't have it on their YouTube. Yeah. So I get to watch all the current ones that are happening, and there's about 4 main shows. And then there's all the ancient ones too that have all of a sudden been downloaded into the American format. But they've kept the name Gardener's World, so it may just be BBC being clever with their money-making 1% selves. Okay. But it's fabulous people, fabulous gardeners, and just a world of really pure inspiration by and large, because whether it's the estates or whether you're gardening in Australia or whether you're going all around the world in 80 gardens with Monty Don, who's one of the hosts.
yeah.
You get to see what you would never be able to accommodate into an hour for the insight and knowledge base that these people operate as our hosts. So that's what I do. I also am an avid fan of Trevor Noah.
Trevor Noah. Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Because he speaks the true truth. And that leads right into the other thing I've been studying and researching and enjoying tremendously, which is Cloud Atlas, the movie.
Okay. All right. So we're going to get into, leading right into the next question. What inspired you to create Glorious Gardens?
Yeah, the childhood memories of just nature and her abundance and beauty. And then to have the opportunity, my grandfather actually lived with us one year, and he put in a proper Italian garden in our backyard. And I had never imagined, I just had no idea how vegetables grew, even though it's Minnesota, and I'm a product of the, the kids that were kind of connected to the earth. I just never seen a huge garden with fencing and everything that had identification of plants and all.
And the fencing here, the fence work here is like beautiful. I can't wait to have all the viewers explore it and things like that, because it puts me in mind some of the the fencing in your garden, Miss Judy. It puts me in mind of ancient China, a cultural. It has a cultural feel to it, like the whole design and things like that.
That's interesting. It bleeds through.
Yeah,
cool.
it does. Okay, so name a person, place, or thing, such as a movie, etc., you idolize and why.
Idolize is an interesting word. I'm not sure what that means. How would you describe idolize to me so I get it correct?
My description of the word idolize is like something or someone or somewhere that you kind of you worthy, not so much worship.
I know,
but
exactly.
You look up to.
Right. Again, a YouTube reference. There was, and always will be, though not recorded in history, the first Empress of China. And she actually did not believe in war. She believed in commerce and community and communion. Communication. Commerce had her in her brilliance and divine divinity of, I guess, divine direction, creating the Silk Road. Now that is heralded, mutely demuted, from the glory of what her abundance was, because she did this till she was 93, 94, I think it was. Wow. So it's a documentary on YouTube. The first Empress, the only Empress actually, of purely all by herself without a partner, i.e. man. So that I could idealize.
Right.
idealize, not idolize.
Ideal.
Because that's a kind of
like
interesting word,
Yeah.
idealize, yeah.
Yeah,
She inspired me to say, yes, we can.
Yes, that's right.
Thank you, Gloria Steinem.
Okay, Gloria Steinem. And yeah, she is.
And Norman Lear's
Definitely.
wife had a beautiful, beautiful magazine out years ago
Mhm.
where she interviewed people and she asked the most brilliant and thoughtful questions and really solidified for me the humanity of how different our world would be if there were more women were available. So a while back, after she divorced Norman, she started her own thing. And I don't know what, I didn't follow through because my own life went a little wild,
Yeah.
but I subscribed to her magazine
Yeah.
and really enjoyed it. So that would be another current reference.
That's interesting.
Yeah, yeah.
I would
You'd
love to
it.
kind of
So
read,
that's
maybe
what
I'll
she called it.
research
She
that.
called it Lear's. You know, like, I'll keep your name, dude, because it's popular.
Oh.
But yeah, I'm a free bird.
Yes,
So
you are. Miss Judy is such a free bird, and I'm having a wonderful time interviewing her. Welcome to the Natacha Knows Show, Jazzy, Sharif, and Jose. Thank you for tuning in to the Natacha Knows Show. Today's guest is Miss Judy Gaddy, and we are touring her glorious gardens. So that's what we're talking about. So the last question is, what's next for this lovely nature garden?
I don't know, you've inspired me. I never really thought too far ahead with it because there's so many variations on the theme with so many life streams, so intimately connected to mine, not only my children but my larger world in Sahaja Yoga, and my responsibilities for aging gracefully. Ha ha ha.
And could you tell us briefly about Sahaja Yoga?
Oh, this is what
It's like a
kind
meditative.
yeah, it's the meditation that's kind of the core and centrifugal joy of the discovery of my finding out that I am a free bird.
Yeah.
Because with the raising of the Kundalini and the understanding of how you're created in God's image because you're pure spirit,
That's right.
it makes it really simple to make a lot of decisions if you meditate, because you don't do it on, you know, money, sex, power, or old training and conditioning. You do it on current. Here we are, feeling the cool breeze of the Holy Spirit.
Yeah.
And that's kind of it in a nutshell. And I had my children naturally at home and all these good things, so I have a real sense of
So you had them with
autonomy.
a doula, a birth mother, or something?
No, actually, Sebastian, my eldest, actually attended while Scott was born. So
Oh, wow. Okay.
you never know how it's going to come out.
Right.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was going to come out
Yeah, how
either.
about that? Well, this is part of the. This is when Natasha said gardens. I was like, I never really thought about it as gardens, because each aspect sort of reflects. Like the paddock that we have over here is from the Haas property, or the Court of St. James Ambassador's property from long ago across the way, where they're building two huge, beautiful, well, they call them Mac mansions, but they're going to be beautiful homes,
Right.
I'm sure. And it's been a pleasure to watch it. But we ran over and got the paddock wood so that we could have the memory of how we had seen horses when we first moved in 19.
Yeah, I remember that
Yeah.
property.
Isn't that something?
Yeah.
And there were horses in there too. So Judy Gaddy moved all the way from Montana and Minnesota to come to a horse
Be near
ranch
to be near the horses.
with
That's-
lots of horse
That's
smells.
the irony of it. Yeah.
Isn't that joyful? Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So
So that pretty much wraps up our interview with Miss Judy Gaddy at Glorious Gardens. Now, if Miss Judy wouldn't mind, I would love for you all to see this beautiful, beautiful scenery here that I see.
Of it, yeah.
Yeah.
And Natasha will take the
Okay,
flow. I'm going to get a quick mouthful. here.
Okay.
Just try.
sure. And thank you guys again for tuning in to the Natacha Knows Show. Yes, I'm like filming myself. Like I put my hand in front of the phone. So yeah. So whenever you're ready, we can
Okay,
go.
sweetheart. I'm going to get my little stick here.
Okay, I'm gonna grab mine too. Yeah. I'm gonna turn it around. Thank you. Have my little gardening
what we'll do is
stick.
we'll go out on
My
the
gardening clothes.
on green leaf,
Okay.
because in that way you'll get an overview
Okay.
of how much work there still is to be done.
Yeah.
The
We are
gardens,
here
the gardens are still expanding.
with Miss Judy Gaddy and at Glorious Gardens. Glorious, and that it is.
Empress, maybe we'll open up once a week or something for people
Yeah.
to come have a nature study plan, because there's plenty of interesting stuff living here.
Yeah.
Hello, echinacea that you take so you don't get sick.
Oh, nice.
Yes, yes, natural growing that way.
This is natural growing. can
sorts of
eat
projects
that.
that's
Eat that
everything
flour
is
so you won't get
recycled.
sick.
That's part of what you're saying too, is design that's original and wood that's ancient.
Yeah.
I.e. we're pickers, and you never know what might be coming home.
We are here
Consideration.
at
For
Glorious
consideration.
Gardens, and this is a garden that Miss Judy Gaddy and both her son Bima Gaddy has presented to the world, and it's
Thank you,
beautiful.
Natacha. Thank you.
Thank you.
With lots of interesting collections of stuff. This playhouse survived 3 cycles. Whoops. 3 cycles of construction. It was up on stilts first, then it came down and was a little house. Look at that tiny house, how auspicious, you know, a preview. And now it's just a facade to hold vines and interesting plants, and just kind of beginning to fill out. Instead of using grass, we use chip everywhere because it got too expensive and too labor intensive for the sons to keep up with trying to keep tidy and mowed. And everything we grow here eventually might well be for special projects or a nursery for purchasing, so that we can share the bounty of what we've been blessed with.
Yeah, see.
So these are all new beds. We construct our own. And that's the other thing we do. We use huge amounts of recycling. Everything that we grow, we save to be recycled. And you'll see a huge mound of that pretty soon. The nifty part right now is that for the first time in 7 years, I have lilies, because the deer, I got a spray from ancient gardener at Kew Gardens in England, who someone had asked her how to keep deer off.
Thank you, Sharif. He
And-
said,
yeah.
excuse me, Miss Judy,
Yeah.
Sharif Abdul Kimran said that you have a beautiful garden.
Thank you, thank you.
Miss Judy said, thanks, Sharif. Yeah, so
So we got the spray recipe, and I have for the first time in 7 years. Daylilies! Yay! Yeah, because pretty much everything else I took out that they continued to eat.
do you mind sharing the recipe that you shared?
Oh, not at all, not at all.
So-
Oh my gosh, I'm sure someone would be very happy
Yeah.
to not have coyote pee, spritzed on. There's a bunch of stories about what we've used. Yes, in 1 liter of water, you put 2 teaspoons of baking powder and 1 egg yolk.
Okay.
I put it on my little gyrator that mixes it, or you can just shake it, and mix it. Then you put it in a spritzer and you go around and you spray everything once every 2 weeks.
Yes.
Hello, Loretta.
Yes.
Nothing is. Oh, look, it was really funny. I think I've cut them back already. But they came in and they experimented, and they nipped off a couple, and then they went, ew, and they haven't touched any more since. So this whole set has bloomed and did beautifully. But I was really fascinated that it really worked.
Yeah.
Because this is
And
like,
where did you get that recipe?
oh, this is good old BBC, and they were at Kew Gardens doing a review of the gardens there, and someone, just serendipitously asked about deer eating, because I still have deer eating all around me.
Yeah.
They love the hostas. A lot of people have hostas, so those are all gone. And Judy Gaddy still has, because this is where they used to pig out. I could have as many as 5, 6 deer in the yard. Oh, and I had a baby born 1 year right underneath my feet. I could walk on it. Yeah, it was amazing.
Inside the garden.
Yes.
A baby calf was born.
So many beautiful, beautiful stories.
Look
So
at this
these are all the
beautiful
friends
garden.
that don't get eaten. Normally the daisies get all chewed to smithereens. And I come out here and look what was left rather than what was blooming. I really kind of major in weeds because from all these weeds come amazing flowers.
Wow.
This is the mother. This is tick seed, and this is the mother of all coreopsis. You have not too many plantains around here, but they're the mother of all things hosta. That in the background.
Wow.
Yeah. So
This one flower plant here that you just
and now
showed
this
us.
is feverview. Here, give this a hug and see the smell that comes with this Natacha. So
Smells
that's
good.
for headaches. Yeah, I have a
It's
lot
for
of
headaches?
medicinal plants. Yeah.
You want to
A
be
lot of
gentle.
medicinal plants. And this plant behind you, honey, this particular one is what is roadkill. This is what is shaking in the breezes when you're driving in the late fall. And I can't think of its name right now. I have aging gray hair, it seems. but it's so glorious. It looks like a huge amount of tiny little white flowers, and they last long.
Yeah.
This set.
Oh, this is different.
Yo, they're each different. Then this is a natural plant called mallow. This again. These are all medicinal. If you are learned in all this, pretty much everything that grows in here can be explored for medicinal use. There's a few ornamentals like the spirea that are just for the sheer joy of the color of things, and usually they've been on sale. Love this stuff with how it's constructed. And this is a big project, like a work area that is a lot of equipment and stuff that will be utilized in different ways with rocks and stones and tiles and things like that that haven't been put into.
So tell the community, tell us how can we support the garden, or are you going to be selling flowers or plants and things like that, or even compost?
Would like, compost is a good. That would be fun. That would actually be fun because I do. Yeah, that's amazing. That's a great thought. I've never thought of.
Oh, look, another thought on the Natacha No Show.
Thank you, girl. That's really important. And here, look at this. We have so much of this. I would love to share this. This will be morning glory. Yeah. And it's just like hot.
I thought those were like the spider plants. You know those spider plants that kind of.
No. Oh yeah, I have that one too. But no, this is the old-fashioned morning glory, and with the big blue, beautiful faces that come out. And it's just
that's going to be nice. Maybe another good rain, it'll probably come out again.
This is something we tried to save because it had already died, but I don't think I'm going to keep it.
Beautiful garden.
And then this opens up to this is the most important thing. This is where we make all the compost.
The compost, yes, the compost.
We save everything we cut, except branches usually, like from the hedges and whatnot. But everything gets recycled, and then everything looks.
That's the beauty of this garden, everyone. It's like a nature garden for real. It's glorious for real.
This is everything is. You have beautiful New Jersey, a little bit sandy, but excellent for the roots. Growing. Oh, sure, honey. I'm sorry.
That's
Let me get you a fresh one. Well, this isn't sieved. This is really raw, rough and ready because it's got a lot of everything else in it.
But it's kind of fluffy, though.
Yes, and that's why it does so well because this soil isn't clay or sand, which is what you end up usually in this neck of the woods. And then there's a whole bunch of these plants that are all herb ones. This is like a mint. You can take a whiff of that. Well, this is lemon balm, and this is actually lemon balm is actually a weed. But it's
it smells like lemons. Yeah,
it's such a pretty weed.
It is, and it smells good.
Yeah, and so that's who knows. Maybe I can be Johnny Appleseed lemon balm lady. Anyway, so here's more of the garden that needs to be developed and nurtured.
Beautiful garden.
Here was a whole bunch of stuff just left over that we made a big mound and just stuck the stuff in, and now it's pretty much lemon balm. But in the spring it has a huge show. Now you see,
I bet it smells really good.
Yeah, it is excellent. Well, what happens here now is they're doing what's called transpiring, and as they're kind of coping with their fact that a lot of their water in their leaves is evaporating. So what it does is it wilts, and then it pops back up after the sun goes down. It's like it has sunscreen on now.
Nice.
But you see, we save everything from rocks that'll be sorted out and utilized, and barks that'll get eaten up, and all the greenery that'll be digested. And when it's just about to be utilized, it goes into bags for 1 year along the hedge line here. We're going to make boxes eventually. That was part of getting the haddock wood tools. And then we've got a lot of pallets that we're going to make composting boxes out of. But we've kind of been behind the 8 ball in terms of how much money it actually does require.
Yeah,
the garden. So we just done it on the.
Could you give us some reasons of the importance to garden? Like how important it is to garden?
I think it really,
aside from it giving us oxygen.
Yeah.
And food.
Honestly, the amount of life force that you become cognizant of, especially if you live on something as busy as road. You have, because you have such an appreciation for the majesty of natural development, you also have the awesomeness of the fact that we can live collectively together. And be such a magnificent human family. So, I don't know, the garden gives me abundant trust that all is well. You know, back to the be still and know that I am God. Okay, so we're all God, so let's enjoy each other better. And that's what the garden does. It makes everything quiet down.
With the universe.
You really have that opportunity. And when you look sometimes at the sky at night, you get you get all 4 seasons. I think New Jersey is a very protected garden state, because life began in a garden, if you believe in Eden. And so we're kind of still connected. And these 3 ancient trees, the one is done living its life as a tree, and now it lives itself as a sentinel. And I call that my mother tree because it has nice curves. And she photographs beautifully.
And that's the beautiful tree right there.
Isn't she something?
Yeah,
And she's for the seasons she presents her silhouette with. It's incredible. So yeah, everything here has a story. Everything has a story, multiple stories. So, and it's an original house with a magnificent lineage from Sears and Roebuck. Yes, it was a box house. With the grand style of chestnut and really incredible design, which has made it as reliable and functional today as it was way back and how long ago it was. This tree we waited to completely take down because it keeps saying, just chill, just chill, just chill.
That's
I'm
a beautiful
still
tree
good.
too.
Oh, it was so huge and massive, but then it's got a little disease feature. And that's the other thing you learn. You don't have to soup it all up into a whole bunch of chemistry. It's lived like this for 4 years now. People will be groaning if they see this because they're strangers. No, the tree, well, literally not too long ago, one limb fell. And it fell right in front of me because it was saying, okay, I'm letting you know now. I'm getting closer to needing to be taken down or taken apart. Because see, we didn't take this one apart.
Because I was going to say that this root of this tree here looks so sturdy that it doesn't need cutting down. Maybe the limbs eventually.
That's what we've been doing is taking them down.
I love trees, and my dad, he used to love trees too.
See that?
And I am like definitely a tree hugger.
What better than the tree of life? Is exactly what these all exemplify and take their image as after they are really duplicates and replicants of the tree of life. Because every one of them have personalities. I did have at one point a woman from Holland who is a tree talker, and she went around to each of them and came back with a story for me. I'm getting goosebumps, because she knew each of them. And there's a great legend. The ash tree that was on the corner that when we moved here, it had died. But when we had it cut down, when I burned it in the fireplace, it was the most spectacular show of twinkle sparkles. You think it was full of fairy dust. It was awesome. And I found out later on that Native people used to come on that corner of Liberty and Greenleaf, where Cornwallis chased George Washington away. He ran for his life. Anyway, in this corner, where we just were, that's where there were a couple of, it was an assemblage, it was a collective of Native American tribes indigenous to this area who used to come for summer solstice celebrations. So one of my sons found a beautiful plaque to commemorate. We have the father aspect. And we have a lovely little plaque from Natacha. It says, "Welcome to our garden." From a while ago. So that's the dedication to the integrity of knowing that it all works together. We're the only thing that's kind of the mud in the pie, or mud in the eye.
We're all figuring it out.
Were a little bit kinder and just enjoyed the community that the plants have. Everything is beautiful.
We are here at Miss Judy Gaddy's glorious gardens that her son, Mr. Beamer Gaddy, present it to the world. This is
And
what
any
they gave us.
ideas? And any ideas you have about why this could be more useful? Because I had done things like the greenhouse in junior. Janice Dismiss, I tried to get the greenhouse going as a project for the children.
Wow.
Wasn't such a great result, but I see now they have gardens that are in place.
They do,
and
they
the
do.
tulips, not tulips, the daffodils. When I first came here, we planted 1,000 daffodils in Janice Dismiss.
Oh, wow.
Because I was so tenderized by the depth and character of her personhood that they named the school after her. And so I wanted to do a tribute. But you can't have a lawn and have daffodils. I found out I was ignorant about daffodils.
Oh.
So yeah, you have to leave them in the ground and not cut off their foliage, because that restores their bulb. So I didn't know that. So we don't have 1,000 daffodils. Well, by now we wouldn't have anything but daffodils over that entire sprawl.
I can imagine. Yeah. It's like
But the
a
kids
wild
planted them.
flower.
The kids planted them.
Oh,
That
wow.
was part of the project.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was very gun-ho, but then I kind of ran out of steam when I became a single parent. Because I was doing so much volunteering, and I just continue working, which I'd always done, but I want to work more. So this is a new effect that Dima just did in the last couple days.
I like that.
Cutting back everything, blending a whole new entryway. And then the wraparound here is also more of what he's been pruning and training to have really a much longer lifetime than if I were left with my own brothers, because it's a lot of work. And then sweet little pathway we won't go into because there's not a lot of bumps there right now.
This little pathway. And here at Glorious Gardens.
Is that awkward for you, honey, or is that helping?
No, this is helping.
Okay.
Thank you.
This is another.
Yeah, this is definitely helping.
And some of our people from Farm Lore will recognize tansy, which I adore. Yeah, there's a lot of fun, like I said, medicinal.
Now
things.
this one looks like a weed too.
Oh, you could call it a weed. People in the probably in the countryside definitely call it a weed, but it's a very powerful, whole bunch of different. I talk too much anyway, and I'll get into the lore of it, and then I'll be for hours.
I like it though.
Isn't it fun?
Kind of like
It's fun.
mysterious. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's sort of, you're right, it's sort of exotic, like, let me lead you into the forest garden. And then in the back we have, this was another place that deer really loved, and I didn't mind sharing it with them at all. This is gooseberries and currants, and the birds have taken them pretty much this time and had a feast with them. Yeah. So it's a work in progress, and here's Judy's pile, and now we're building soil, because we're going to have some sort of creation here with the different layers of recycling. We save all our cardboard, so that goes into the recycling too.
And the compost?
Yeah, that's part of it. Yep. You got to have that paper component for vitamin. And these plants are all visiting right now because they've been divided up and multiplied, and they'll probably be going into a couple new beds this season. I won't take you up here because we're looking on the walkway up there and it's not safe.
Okay.
But yes.
But this is beautiful.
And here's our golden
This is the
representation for our golden.
You have to pay him before you come into the garden.
Our golden page. These are golden gnome.
Yeah.
More a little bronzy golden, by the way. Yes. We like the idea.
Before you cross the bridge.
He represents for us.
Yeah.
And there's a cozy nook back in there with the different trees. That, like I said, Bima just really worked so hard to clean everything up so that it looked like you could actually see through it. Because otherwise it looked like, it did look just like this. Sometimes they didn't see that way. Oh, and this is a whole big story. Natacha, I talk too much.
No, you're fine. You're doing perfectly well.
So, and then I bring my house plants out in the summer so they can do their house plant thing outside, which includes that lovely friend.
And so they don't die out here, the houseplants?
Oh, you do have to water them very much more faithfully, because they could get real wilted real quick, especially. But the breezes out here just give them a whole different benefit of, sweet, tender love. Yeah. So, what else to say? this is the fun thing about having, these trees are as old as the property. One is dead. They're PG hydrangea. Huge, amazing photos that I have. I mean, I have photos of them being huge, huge bushes, magnificent trees, actually. And a lot of things are free planting here. They came literally in bird poo.
Wow.
Initiated growth, and then surprised the living daylights out of me to say, hi, I'm here for everyone to enjoy. So a lot, believe it or not, all those sugar maples were from bird poo. Big 3 maple.
Wow.
I've lost a few plants that have come back later because whatever, refined, defined, whatever. Amazing stuff. Oh, and this is quite sweet. And of course we've had dozens of cats and a few dogs. And this is all hallowed be thy name. The little graveyard here for a lot of the neighbors' friends too, who
Cats
didn't
and
have
dogs?
space, right, to put.
So this is a pet
burial.
cemetery.
Yeah, like that.
within
Yeah, with them
Glorious
going.
Gardens.
Yeah. So sweet friends.
Yeah.
And then in the paddock, I'm not going to take you in there because it's very rough hewn right now, and I'm not growing any vegetables yet. But that's what my next step is
To grow the vegetables in there.
For me, the kids said, why haven't you been growing vegetables and fruits all this time? I said, because flowers are so much easier.
Yeah,
You
that's
have
true.
to tend vegetables until you get good at it. But good, it's because you're vigilant with everything. Soil correctness, bug, the correctness, everything that needs to be attended to with animal so many things. And we have gophers here, we have groundhogs, we have, we call raccoons,
Wow.
squirrels, rabbits, the simple stuff.
This is definitely a nature garden.
It is that. And that's why I was so tickled you called it gardens. It was like, yeah, it is gardens.
Because it feels like it's multiple gardens in one.
We kept wondering what to call the different areas of it. Oh, and then there's some really fun stuff like this. The root to one of the ancient evergreens that would not give up having a life force, even though it was fragile. We saved its skeleton. And here's this sculpture.
And this is here?
Yep.
Wow.
It's a little unclear right now because this hasn't been cleaned back, so it's really dense. Because this is for so many people, when they come into the garden, this is the first thing they see. This is the first thing they take a shot of because in the winter and fall, it's pretty stark around here. And this stands out and it goes, yes, and now I hold court. So it's really, I enjoy it so much.
Well, that just about wraps up the Natasha No. Thank you all for tuning in to the Natasha No Show, and thank you, Miss Judy, Gaddy, and your beautiful, glorious gardens for giving everyone a tour.
Thank you.
And sharing it with the community. And if you would like to support Glorious Gardens, I will definitely forward you some contact information or suggestions to a certain email. And I'll definitely, if you tune back in, I'll definitely follow up with that information. Great. All right, and thank you for tuning in to the Natasha No Show.
Thank you.
Peace and love. Yeah.
Peace and love.